I'm just going to record it to the cloud, and then I can just share you the link once we're done.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Now I'm glad you asked that. I thought like, oh yeah, recording would be good. All right, so where are we? Okay, so you can see my screen again, right? We're at the Trinity channel page. And so one of the things that I have here is, uh, this is a video that I already kind of recorded for Davis, but I can walk through it again, just to kind of like how to really manage content, right? But underneath this channel page, the difference between the studio and the channel is that you're able to list different sections of your page. Does that make sense? So like, if I were to go to just straight youtube.com right now, and I went to our Trinity channel, Trinitarian Church, and go to ours, so you can see how there's the sermon section, there's the gospel renewal section, there's the music section, and then I just put this in there to like, for people who are like searching, because the thing with past live streams is different than sermons, because sermons is an actual playlist, whereas like past live streams is like straight up any type of live stream that we've ever done. It's just gonna be there, right? Now the question is like, how do you make these different sections, right? And why are they important? They're important because sometimes when people go on the channel and they don't want to look at all your videos, they are looking for a very specific video, right? You want to make it as easy as possible for anybody to like want to refine your sermon or music to be less frustrating. Otherwise, you're just going to leave or whatever, right? And I'll give you another example. Like, let's say that Trinity San Diego, which is another one of my friends' church, me and Eric's friend's church down in San Diego, also Trinity. You see how like this is their basic setup, right? Like there's no, this is default here. It's just straight up uploads. There's no curation, there's nothing, right? And so it's fine, but it's very difficult to find like, well, what if there's a song? Like you actually have to go into videos or playlists. Really, they don't even have playlists. So like you would have to dig it up, you know? And so we don't want that. We actually just want it to make it as simple as possible. And the way that you do that is just to create playlists. So I think you already kind of know how to make playlists, but the idea is when you go into the editing mode, the way that you add different sections is to just scroll down to the bottom, right, to this part down here, where it says add section. And then you can basically do whatever you want. You can do popular uploads. So if I were to select popular uploads, it basically just lists the most popular videos that you have, right? You have created playlists, which is the one that I'm using, you know? Actually, I'm sorry, I don't use that one. I use this a single playlist, right? And the single playlist allows me to select the playlist that I have actually created, right? So I can find like gospel renewal stories, right? Music or sermons or whatever, right? So like sermons is just that. And then it just gives you this whole entire list. Now in the future, let's say that we have like Bible study or Trinity 101 live on digital version. I don't know, like because our new members can't go in for Trinity 101 anymore, right? So if Eric did a virtual online class, then we need a new playlist, right, to exist. And so you can do that by just simply going to, again, you know, in your customized channel portion, go down to playlists, okay, and then you can create a new playlist. You could be like Trinity 101, right? And so it'd be unlisted for now, press create. And so you can start adding videos that are relevant to that type of playlist. And then once the playlist is created, you can create that new section that lives underneath. So that's kind of like the basic in terms of like what types of playlists or how to create the playlists, you know. Yeah, later. We good. Thanks. So yeah, so that's how you make a playlist and stuff, so that you can be creative, right? I don't know what the best playlists are out there. Right now I've been doing a lot of research by just looking at the best churches, or the best churches out there that do this organization well. For instance, like I'll go to like Church Home. They're a different theology from us, you know, but they know how to organize stuff, right? So like they'll organize. They have like a little video. It's clean, different titles. Like, so they don't break it down by sermons. They break it down by like sermon series, right? So like I have it very generic because I don't have time to make like different sections and just keep adding to them, like sermon, music. That's all we have, right? But obviously, as you do this and you find like there's a better way to organize, or make the library of our sermons more accessible, then feel free to propose that. Like Audrey, like if you feel like, oh, like I think this is a better way for our people to access the sermons. I think it should be more specific. Like maybe there should be just the parables section, and so all the sermons that exist within parables live in that parables playlist, right? That's an idea, right? But they're very basic too. So they have uploads and the other 316s, and then they have like popular uploads, right? Let's take a look at another one, like the Village Church with Matt Chandler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like the Village Church has excellent resources as well, and so they have like the explainers, right? They literally break down theology, kind of like the Bible Project for their church, right? And they have the Village Church, and they have a lot more going on. So they have music down there, and they also have multiple playlists. So this is like a multiple playlist setup where they have Ask TBC, right? Like ask whatever you want, and they have prayer. And so there's different ways to kind of break it down, but essentially that's kind of like the idea, right?
Where do you add
Yeah, go ahead.
key terms in a upload? Like if people want to search, usually there are tags.
Yes.
How do you put the tags on?
Yeah, that's a great question. So let's go back. Let's go back to the videos. So I will go to I'm going to go to the channel again. Let me see here. I'm going to try to go to studio.youtube. So I'll go back to my channel, YouTube Studio. And then when you go to the videos, I have a bunch of videos here that I uploaded, but I haven't had time to like really edit it yet, right? But if you go into the details, this is kind of where you add certain details, right? So you have the video elements. Let me see here. Right here, under tag, you see it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, the cool thing when you do live stream is that you can pre-tag it. And so every other iteration of the live stream will just adopt the characteristics of the previous live stream. So once you kind of make it for the live stream, you could kind of carry through with not having to like retype every tag every single time.
That would be something that when whoever would that be my role or someone else's role?
You can, yeah, we can make that your role. Honestly, if you wanted to like make a live stream, and I can show you that right now of how I do that, so that we can talk about it too, because it's kind of relevant to what you're trying to do at your school. So let's kind of pivot a little bit, and I'll show you how to like add a live stream. Okay, so typically when I go and add a live stream, I'm already living in studio.youtube, right? You can't do that in customization. You have to do it within studio.youtube.com. And you want to go to the top right-hand corner where it says create, and then go live.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So once you're in live, What I have right here is obviously I had the SDA test. I was running a live stream test from the Seventh-day Adventist Church. But what I really want is the previous week's sermon's characteristics. And the reason why I want that is because the stream key is the same. Like I don't have to go back in and change it within my streaming application, right? Like either that is Zoom or OBS or whatever streaming application you're using. You kind of want to choose the same session that you did, and you want the previous. So it allows you, it says right here, reuse the settings, and you can select for that and reuse it. And so we'll go ahead and make it for tomorrow, right? So tomorrow's Sunday. Obviously, Eric is not going to preach. It's actually going to be Paul Kim. I don't really have the title of the sermon, so I'll just say Sunday live service. So that's usually like the title that I put on there. And then I put the name of the person, and tomorrow will be June 28th, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's going to be public. And see this part right here? It's kind of cool, right? This is the description that I'm telling you about, right? So this is kind of where we kind of want to build this out a little bit, so that we want to make it useful for people like newcomers. Like I don't have a newcomer card. I think I need to go find that so I can give that to you, or like we'll stick that URL in there so that they can onboard. So we select a date. It's going to be the 28th, and we know it's going to be at 10 a.m. Let's go find 10 a.m. 10 a.m. And then I'm going to change the thumbnail. And typically, I just let me see here. I just add like the one that I made. Oops. By the way, I'll send you these graphics as well, so that you're not going to be like looking around like how I'm doing right now. Sorry, I need to be a little organized. But let's see, list. All right, I have it right here. So it's called Trinity Background, or I'm sorry, Trinity Graphic, and I press OK. I'll send that to you. So you've seen this graphic before. So you want to change that. And this is interesting because you have to make sure that you have to select no, it's not made for kids in order to get a comment section. Like if you say like, yes, it's made for kids, like goodbye comment section, right? Like they're just going to get rid of that because they don't want children to be affected by it. And they ask you like, do you want to restrict your viewers to 18? I'm like, no. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to press create, and that will be my new live stream.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have the stream key that's here, and you have the stream URL that's here, and that lives inside of OBS, right? Like OBS, if you don't know what the software is, it's what we actually use on Sunday. It's called the Open Broadcasting Software, and so this is OBS on my computer. This is not OBS from the church office computer, right? But typically, whenever you have the stream key, you just pretty much stick it inside whatever application, and that stays the same, pretty much, right? So I guess I have to walk through it with whatever you're using for Zoom, like how you created the session. But let's say that this session finishes on Sunday, right? When we go live and then we're done with it, the creation process is the same of what you and I just went through, right? If you wanted to make it for the following week, you would just go live and I'm sorry, not go live, go and make a new session in the manage portion. But this is kind of where, if you go to manage, you can see that on Sunday, this is kind of where we view to see if the stream is working properly, right? And the way that you can test it too, Audrey, is to start streaming on your client side, like let's say on Zoom. You want to test it. You can just press to preview. Like you can start streaming from that client, and if you inputted the stream key here properly, it will show up on the left hand corner. Like whatever you see on this side, it will show up.
But doesn't that use up the URL if you click
Because
live?
it's only on preview mode, and you'll be able to see it. Okay.
Oh wait, how did you get it on just preview mode?
So here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to remote into the church computer right now. So I'll remote into the church computer, and this is the church computer that we have. Let's see if I can. So I'm on the church computer, and I need to go find OBS. And I'm on OBS at the church computer. And what I'll do is, because the stream key is already inside, right? It's already in OBS, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what I'll do is I'll start streaming. And once I'll start streaming, you see how like it's all it's going to go, right? So it's going to say, it's going to be green, it's pumping out information. And if you look on my left-hand side, it says excellent connection. You see that?
Uh-huh.
That means it's live. So in 20 seconds or so, you'll see our logo pop up. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
That's how you test it. And let's say that I will click on Life and Community, and let's wait 20 seconds. It's going to play that logo as well. And hasn't come yet, but give it about 20 seconds. There it is. There it is. It comes, right? And we're not live. We're just previewing this right now.
It's on preview because it's in the studio mode. Is that why?
Correct. So
Oh.
The reason why you want to do this is because you want to make sure that whatever you're clicking through in your streaming client is operating correctly. And once you notice that things are operating correctly, then you click on that blue button on the right-hand corner. It says go live. That's when you click on go live, and that's when everybody watches everything from that specific URL.
I don't remember that blue go live. Okay. Well, I'm still like trying to figure out what went on last time.
Yeah. So that's how you do it, right? So on Zoom, I don't really know how to stream on Zoom. I have to study it myself. But the logic is very similar. Does that make sense? So like,
yeah, it seems like I can imagine like what's the analogous button that you would press that's similar to your start streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Within the new streaming system that we're going to use at the SDA, it's analogous to this as well. It doesn't look the same. It looks a little different, but you also have to hit start streaming as well. So I'll stop streaming, and once you stop streaming, you can look over to this side, and it's gonna die. The connection's gonna be like poor or whatever, or no data. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
So there's no data. And I'll go ahead and exit my computer right now. But yeah, so that's kind of like what we do. So let's see what else I need to show you. Yeah, so that's kind of how you create the session for Sunday, and then you copy the URL, and then you plug it into whatever sharing. You can share it with people, or in our case, we shared it into our website. Okay, and the way that we share it into our website is we use Squarespace. So I'm sure you've probably heard of Squarespace or are familiar with it.
I've only heard the ads on NPR.
Oh yeah, they're on all the time, and I like it. I mean, we use it for our personal ministry website tool as well. It's very easy to use. It's very clean. But I'll give you the credentials for this as well, so that you can learn how to like update the link on that thing on our YouTube studio and then be able to cut and paste it into Squarespace. So settings, let me see if I can give you permissions on here. Just AUDCHEN?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, at Gmail? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I will make you content. Okay, I'll send that to you. So that way you'll be able to like change everything on the website or anything on the website as well. So once once I'm in the website, I go to pages, which is basically all of our web pages that exist in there. Right now, our page for the live stream exists within resources, right? And it lives right here. It says Church Online. And so once I'm in here, I usually cut and paste. So I just kind of hover a little bit, kind of up here, a little right above this banner thing, because like wherever else you hover over, you want to be able to click on that edit button. So once you hover, find the edit, click on it, and that lets you edit the different pieces in the page. Okay. And the main button here where I have click here to join, I just hover over that and I click edit. And this is last week's sermon URL. So I'll just cut that for now and I'll hit cancel. And I'm just going to add it to the collection underneath here. Eventually, I think I don't want to put like 50 sermons on this page. I think people are going to be like, what the heck? There's like so many sermons down here. So I think this will be maybe the last sermon I'll add, and then I'll just like get rid of the old ones. Okay. And the way that you add a sermon to this block here is, again, move your mouse, hit edit, hover over it, edit, and then scroll down where you see where it says, there's that little plus sign right there. Hit that plus sign and it says add video. Add video, and because we already cut and paste, I mean, we already cut the URL link, we can just place it here. So paste, and give it a second because it's pulling in the information from last week, and it's going to pull also a thumbnail as well. So join judgment and press save. And of course, because it's the newest sermon, we just want to just drag it all the way up, and it's gonna show up here, and you press apply. And once you press apply, you can hit save, and voila, yeah, the new old sermon from last week gets added to the past live stream here, so that if people want to access it, they can. Okay, so going back to our live stream, let's say that you forgot where it is. Just go back to studio.youtube.com, and again, go down to create, or I guess you can go from here. You can just go to videos, and then you can go to live, and then there's an upcoming service right here. See, it says Paul Kim Sunday live stream service, and you can hover over it. And let's try to get the shareable link. Okay, so you just hover over that, the three buttons, and get shareable link. And then just link is copied to the clipboard. So go back to your tab, and then you want to go to hover over the banner again, and then you go edit. Go down to click here to join, hover on top of that button, hit edit, and then here you can click and paste the new URL. Press apply, press save. Make sure you press save, okay? And then once you press save, you can test it. So the way that you can test it on Squarespace is hover to the left-hand corner. See that little arrow right there? You can click
Yeah.
on that arrow, it expands it, and it allows it to function like a web page. Kind of cool. So you can actually make it look like a phone if you want. So like, let's say that this is a tablet form. This is an iPhone or Android phone. It allows you to test it. And then when you expand it, like so, it lets you test it like a website and not so much an editing mode. And so we'll hover
Hmm.
over to the click here button and click, and it takes you straight.
Hmm.
And that's good. You're done.
Yeah,
That's pretty
I could do
much,
that. I think
yeah,
I feel comfortable with that.
yeah. So super easy. Um, it's all these little details, right? Like just like thousands of pieces of details for Sunday to happen. But but uh, but yeah, just updating that link, creating that link, and posting it on this website so that when Diane or Irene or anybody from church, myself, we click on it, we're able to access it easily. All right. Questions so far? Anything
One
confusing?
thing that I could see that we would want to grow is on the bottom there where it says past live streams.
Yes.
It would be good to have two sections, one of past live streams, another section of, I don't know, some like highlighted worship services that we want newcomers to see.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know if you want to tell me now how to put a new section or we'll cross that
Yeah.
bridge later.
Right. So I can show you right now. It's really easy. So if you were to edit the but you want to edit the structure of this page, right? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
all for that. So whatever you're proposing, feel free to have creative juices to do that. We can talk about it first before you implement it. But if you think there's a better way, I'm all ears for that. So how you do that is hover over to pages again. Make sure you find your church online page, which is this one, right? You need to highlight it, otherwise you can't edit the page, right? And so you hover over the section and then you hit edit. Okay. Once you hit edit, now you could edit the how each button is placed. So you can drag it here or you can drag it here. Um, but you can play around with it. You can do whatever you want. So you can drag this whole section and move it up here if you wanted, right? Just if you press save, it locks it. So you don't want to do that. So you can mess up as much as you want. Um, but so you can see it's pretty easy. You just left click, drag stuff around, and then hover below and see how there's like these little I don't know what you call these little round things that come out. That's
Mm-hmm.
how you add a new section. Okay, so I'll hover like so, and you see how it comes up. Click left click, and then see how it gives you different type of blocks that you can add. You can add markdown, you can add quotes, you can add images, you can add video, you can embed whatever you want. In the case that you're proposing adding specific types of sermon highlights, then I'd say you probably want to add something like a grid or a carousel or a slideshow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you were to add, this is a grid format, but let's say that I added a carousel here. Um, So I would add that section, and then you would go to the plus sign and add video or add image. So in this case, we want to add video. So paste, give it a second. I'm just going to go grab another link, get shareable link. So we'll just make a whole list of fake video things, right? So save. So that shows up. Add another one. Add video. Just add paste. Give it a second. It's going to load it. So you know, but you kind of get the idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can just add and then add it. Sometimes it's going to have trouble. If it has trouble like that one, then we need to go dig out the actual thumbnail because it can't find the thumbnail right here,
Hmm.
right? So that's a problem, but that's okay. You can save it. And how you can retrieve it is go to the actual video, which is what the wheat and the weeds. Go to the actual video, go to details, and see how there's a thumbnail right there.
Mm-hmm.
Click on that, and then you can download it.
Huh.
So you can download that thumbnail, and there it is. And I'll just save it so I can show you what that means. So I'll save, and then I could go into here, go back to your broken video, go to settings, upload it, the image. There it is.
Cool.
So that's kind of how you do it, right? So obviously this looks super ugly, right? Like it's all stretched, kind of weird, but you could pull it out so it looks better, right? And you
Mm-hmm.
can edit how it looks, right? So it kind of looks like this right now, but then you can go into the design and say, well, I want it to automatically transition between slides up to 5 at a time. I want it to center. You kind of mess around to see what looks good. You know, you can change the grid. You can change it to stacked. Kind of cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can change it to slideshow like so. I think slideshow looks awesome, or a lot better. You can select. So it's up to you in terms of like what you see, right? Aesthetically, I can't really teach that to you. like someone has to have an eye in a way, but you can imitate that eye by just looking at what looks good to you from what other professors or teachers or YouTubers or whatever, right? That you look at and you're like, I like what they're doing. Let's imitate that,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's the best way I think of how you can learn of placement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of what I've learned through imitation, right? I've learned through like
Mm-hmm.
studying design from other designers and looking at how they do it. And I'm like, I like that. I don't like that. That looks good. That looks dumb. Like I like that. So I'm gonna try to emulate that. So that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like what I usually try to do in terms of laying out something like this. So there's no right or wrong. It's more of an artistic. And is it? I mean, the big question is the way that we lay it out. Is it intuitive for the user? Right? Like someone who's accessing, are they able to access it easily without having to like click through multiple clicks or like just scroll through multiple scrolls just to access a sermon? So those are different questions that you can ask whenever you're thinking about the layout, right? So that we're encroaching into UX UI, which I am not an expert in at all, right? But that's more of what we're talking about. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that's it. And you press apply and then you can save and it'll lock this block in there for
Mm-hmm.
you. But because we don't want that, we're going to just hit cancel. Yes. And that's pretty much it. That's how you edit this page.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. So hover, little buttons. You can add a line. You can add buttons. You can add a lot of different things. You can add a card. You know. So there's many different things that you can add in here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that pretty much wraps up the Squarespace portion, at least, right, on our website, our church website. Um, sometimes sometimes I'll have to update this area as well, right? Let's say that this we change series, like I'll have to update this portion from parables to like whatever series that Eric is on.
Mm-hmm. This is
And
the home page right now.
yeah, this is the home page,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's yeah. But rarely do I update it. Rarely do we update it because, again, it's just uh, we don't have a lot of new things going on all the time. So on here, at least for announcements. Um, but that's that for the website. Um, yeah, so just to go back to the curating part is, how do you make these videos more accessible with the right facts, with the right things? I mean, um, right now I just have like this default message here, right? So if I were to um, go in and like on Sunday update this, like you could easily um, go into studio.youtube once again and go into the video section and looking underneath our videos, right? Like for our Sunday service, we would go to live and we would go to the particular video that we want. So on Sunday, when we finish tomorrow, you're going to see this video and you can go in and hit that pencil and just, you know, write stuff in there. Right now, I just have a bunch of tags that I don't know, I just typed up. I don't know if they're even useful. I just typed it in once and it's pretty much repeated itself again, you know?
Mhm.
Like, I think the main channel tags, let me see if this is, I think it's in settings, but I'm not sure. Yeah. So you see how it says here, um, channel, you could edit the tags here and every single video in the future will have those tags. And so you don't have to
Mhm.
like update them each and every one of them each time.
To add a tag, you just type something and press enter.
Correct. So like, let's say that I typed in Trinity OC and press enter.
Mhm.
Save.
Does
Yeah,
that change all the previous videos or only the future videos?
I think only in the future videos. So if we went in here, it's not listed.
Hmm.
And the way that this works too is I think it just borrows it from the previous video, right? So like obviously in the past, I had a video with these specific tags and I kept on adding it, right? And then in the following week, it asked me, hey, do you want to use the same one again? I'm like, yes. And then I add to it again. And then, so it took a copy of the previous one and just dumped it here,
Hmm.
right? So
So
um,
when I change the tags, do you want me to keep all the existing tags or can I delete some of those?
you can delete as many ones that you want. I just added it. I haven't done enough time to study what tags are effective, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
I've really just added the basic ones that I thought, well, if people were looking for a video, what would they look for? You know,
Hmm.
but obviously I don't, I can't say that those are like research based, right?
Hmm.
I just like, nah, like, I think this sounds great,
Hmm.
but the better the keywords that you have, obviously that increases your chances of
Hmm.
SEO, right? The search engine optimization will allow it to be discovered easier. And again, there's a combination of things, which is it's obviously the tags help, but also when people like our video and subscribe to our channel, that pushes the video out, you know, as opposed to not.
Hmm.
So um, yeah, and I think that's the main things that we need help with right now, which is just updating the sermon videos. I mean, we only have about 14 of them, so it's not a lot, right?
Hmm.
Um, Ashley has done a great job. Like I'll show you, Ashley is like if you go to the mustard seed one, um, you see how she wrote a tag here. She's like, join us for a study of Matthew 13, 31, 35. Here's a small. Let me see if I can find this for you. Yeah, there's a link on here that I've been wanting to add, but I haven't added this. let me text David Lim later, and
Mhm.
I'll get that to you. But basically, it's a link, but it comes with it's basically our digital connect card.
Okay.
But I don't know where. It is. All right. So there's
Oh,
a
there.
no. What is that?
I at least saw digital connect card on the that second email, right? Without changing.
Oh, this one. Yes, this is it. Wait, is this it? Yes. Okay. Let me forward this to you. Awesome. Yeah. So this is it. This is it. So this is something that we want to add. Um, Again, do we want to make it a bit.ly or a bitlol or whatever you call it that shorten it? I don't know, but we can just add it there um, to make it look a little nicer because the link looks really like Trinity Press OC Church Center. Like, what is that? Can you make it like, hey, welcome, and then they just click on it or something like that? I don't know. Maybe we can. Maybe we can. Again, you can even like make a page right on Trinity Press OC, right? Like let's say that we. I wonder if there's one here like new to Trinity Connect. I'm new. Oh, you
Oh,
know
there
what?
it
Just
is.
just link them here. Yeah, that's probably makes more sense to do that. So if you copy that into the video details, I don't know where you want. I'd probably stick it somewhere, but I'll let you decide on where the best placement
Mm.
could be. But it could be here, right? Like slash I'm new, and they can connect that way.
Okay.
Oh crap! Let me see this. Sorry. Oh, I thought I stopped the video, but yeah. So that's one of the biggest needs right now is just to just get that description in. And I have a good number of other music videos. Like our entire worship library has no information. Like I've just been uploading all of the worship songs into our library, and then I have no description, no, like no information. So there's a lot, right? But it's not as pressing. So if you want to
Mm-hmm.
take a stab at it every week, like for instance, like I have, if you go into our videos, this is clearly uploaded already, and so it'll play. Um, but I have the title. I don't have any description whatsoever. I don't even have format to be honest with you. But I would like for this section to be updated so that we know like, oh, what is this song? Maybe even lyrics underneath it
Mm-hmm.
or something about our worship team. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So if I wrote out the lyrics, do I need to write that CCLI or whatever, the permissions to project
Um,
lyrics?
no, I don't think so because in the video it already has the lyrics or the
Okay.
CCLI stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and plus we're not charging money for any of these videos. We're not monetizing it. So the only time that you have to worry about licenses is when you're trying to get money for your videos.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, worry about it. Like, and they have ads on the videos. That just means that the artist, whoever wrote the song, will, or the agency that sponsors their video will get the money. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So the music videos, all of them need help. So there's an entire section in here that I've just been like taking all the worship videos and putting it there, and I don't really have it's not really updated properly, to be honest with you. Like I have it as well, and it's like it as well slides final, right? Like that's a horrible name for the title of the song. It as well, like um,
Yeah, sure.
yeah. So that's pretty much the curation. I mean, that's the very basic of what
Mm-hmm.
we currently are doing. Um, of course, like if you see like a better vision for like how to expand on this or how to like organize it a little better, like we can talk about that and dream about how we can make it a little better.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
One question I have right now is that it's nicely organized on the actual channel, but on our side, it's all kind of scrambled together.
Yes.
Is there a way to organize it?
You can organize it based on date, right? Like based on date, you can hit the tab based on views.
But that's it.
You,
Just sorting it
yeah, just
on
it's
those.
sorting it like that. I mean, it's not, or you can sort it based on visibility because right now it's on draft,
Mm-hmm.
right? So a lot of these songs are unlisted.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Actually, they should be public. I don't know why they're not public. So I'll do public, publish. Um,
And then my other question is, it seems like if once I do the backlog of stuff adding descriptions, each week it's probably just like 20 minutes each week of work.
Probably in terms of this section, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Unless I go overboard and want to do something really drastic. But in terms of like bare minimums, it seems like,
it's not a lot.
okay, maybe like an hour.
Yeah, yeah, it's not a lot. Um, One other thing I want to show you today is I'll probably need your help once in a while with this um, because is how to load slides. But uh, I don't know. Well, the thing is, I can show you that today, but then when we relaunch, the process will change. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't think I want to learn that.
Yeah, yeah, the process will change again. You know, like I can show you the entire process, what it takes to like load my OBS, the entire like, order of worship, right? But I don't have the new software for the SDA to show you yet. Like,
Mhm,
but that would be like the next step is to show you like how do I load the Sunday slides into each of those scenes and things like that.
mhm. Yeah, if it's just this amount of work, I think I can commit to 6 months. I mean, basically until the end of 2020.
Yeah. Okay. That's great. Oh, the other thing I wanted to show you too, I forgot to show you this, is how do you like take our videos and then put them on Facebook? So that's the other
Oh,
part.
okay.
So um, if you go to, let's see here. Yeah, so you go to the videos, and typically, once a live session happens, you can't download the video until like another 12 hours or a couple hours. I don't know how it is, but usually I check the next day, to be able to download the actual recorded video, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give you an example. So last week we did Judgment and Joy. And so let's say that I want to push this over to Facebook. I would go again to studio.youtube.com. So you have this interface, you go to videos, and then you go down to where it says Judgment and Joy. Hover over to where it says the three dots and options, and then this is where you see either download or where you see the button that says download.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That doesn't become visible again until the next day, usually. Because it's usually like once you process a live show, it takes a while for YouTube to process it before you can take it offline. So I'll download it, and then what you'll see is it's downloading right now. It's about 675 megabytes or so. And then you have to go over to, what is it? Content, what is it? Content Creator, Facebook Creator Studio. It's almost verbatim, right? Like it's called Facebook Creator Studio. And I'll need to add you to this as well. So Facebook is a little bit more confusing in some ways. We'll go to, let's see if I could add you as well.
This means I need to remember my Facebook password. I wrote it
Yeah.
down.
You can make a new one. You don't have to use your own personal one.
No, it's
Um,
fine. You can use my personal one.
Let me see if I can go to Facebook, just plain old Facebook. So I'll go to Trinity Presbyterian because that's the one that the page that we have, and then I need to add you as an administrator. So this is our Facebook page. I just hate how it's so confusing, to be honest with you. Like for the user, it's whatever, but for the person who's like making stuff and putting stuff on here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but let's see here. Um, Page roles. There it is. So I have Ashley Viscara, myself, David Lim, editor. Um, let's see if I can just.
I'm, yeah, there I am.
I'm just going to give you admin so that you could. Dang, I don't remember my password. Um,
Do you want to stop screen share and look
yeah,
it
let
up?
me stop screen share. Let me see here. What was my password? I just use like one of those password generators now. You know. All right, I just added you. All right, so you have your pending right here,
Mm.
which is cool. That's good. So um, I always go back to Google to find the Creator Studio stuff, but you can access the Creator Studio from our Facebook page, right? Once you get in there and you're the admin, you can see how there's the Creator Studio at the top,
Mm-hmm.
and you hit Creator Studio, and you go to create a post, and so the cool part is you can go live, you can upload video or whatever, but I'll just go to upload video actually, and I click on Judgment and Joy, and I basically upload it. Once you upload it, you got to make sure you have the video file and you have uh, the thumbnail of the video. And the thumbnail of the video, like we said, was you have to go to YouTube Studio again, studio.youtube.com. Go in the video section, go to the video itself, hit on the pencil in the details, and then go to the three buttons, right? And then you can download it, right? Kind of like what I was showing you for
Mm-hmm.
Squarespace.
Yeah.
And once you upload it, um, it's going to be very similar, right? Like you're gonna type in the description for whatever that you have on YouTube, and then you add the title for um, your video. Now, I haven't had enough time to really explore Facebook. I've just been trying to keep it at a functional place, like
Mm-hmm.
posting it on Facebook, posting it on YouTube as much as I can. But I haven't had time to really explore like how do you uh, make it um, more visible, because I do want us to invest in promoting our church at some point, right? Like we want to pay for ads, like kind of like newspaper ads or whatever. But like let's say that when we relaunch, or you just want to invite people to come and check out our sermon on Sunday or whatever, you can pay Facebook to have the ability for ads. So that's one of the future projects that I'd like for us to explore.
I actually have some experience with Facebook ads because I used to
Great.
do stuff for the Veritas forum. So I used to
Wonderful.
play around with that. I mean, I'm not good at it, but I played around with it before.
Dude,
But,
that's
you know, all the companies right now are pulling their ads from Facebook as a stance until Facebook decides to, I think, filter some of the things that Trump is saying.
we
So,
don't care. We just want the gospel out there. So we don't care. Like Facebook is like a water pipeline to us, right? Like it's just utilities, right?
but
Like
it
we,
could be like a stance that you want to have for publicity for the church. Like, yes, we care about social justice. I mean, I don't know exactly like what stance I
yeah,
actually do have about Facebook,
right.
but that like if it is propagating people to like have hate speech, like that's not something you want to associate with Trinity.
You're right. And that's a very good conversation we can expand on, right? Like, um, yeah, is there wisdom to use Facebook ads or YouTube ads even, right? Or whatever, right? But the question is like, how do we get the gospel out there? That's really the question that we're really interested in, and how do we do it in a winsome way that you're right. Like, what if we are propagating potentially hate speech by using Facebook ads? We're like, what the heck, Trudy? But
I don't know, just something to think about before you actually give them money.
oh, for sure. We're not even close. You're probably gonna help me think through that because like I'm not even there yet with the headspace. But yeah, so that's pretty much it in terms of like I'm just showing you like just adding stuff in there, and you go to publishing options and polls and subtitles and things like that. So that's that's kind of like the gist of the sermon. Once you add the sermon in, it kind of looks like this. You know, you can kind of see how many views there are, how many posts, kind of like that. Um,
So this is a video upload, but whenever I do a video upload, I can put in a blurb above it like that.
correct, correct. So
Mhm.
like kind of like when we did the create post, we did upload video and we selected that video, right? Where you added it would be here,
Oh, okay,
right?
got
And
it.
then the title will be here, and then the tags conveniently are here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then you could you could track it by putting certain things on there and polls, and you can subtitle it. But we're not doing any of that. But those are the basic tools. But the main things that we're concerned with is the title, tags, and video uh, descriptions for now. For now. But
Mm-hmm.
if you know of other ideas on how to do that well, you know. And that's pretty much it for the sermon. And I don't know if you follow us on Instagram or not.
I have
Okay.
an Instagram account, but I don't really use it anymore.
Okay. We started cutting Ashley's life and community videos, and we just put it on Instagram. And that's the extent of our social media experience. And then I just take random pictures of like the office or the church picnic that we just had. And so just just been uh, and how you can do that. Uh, again, I'm I'm not gonna like say like, oh, you should jump into this because the main, how would you say it, the main bread and butter for us right now is just to get the sermons out on Facebook and on YouTube and on our website.
Mm-hmm.
That's really like the trifecta that we're trying to really focus on. IG is really just the experiment right now. So we're on Instagram, and so far I've just really just posted Ashley's video and like what we're doing around the community, like picnic and you know things like that. So
Is that Atlas there?
yeah, And
I haven't seen him in such a long time.
yeah, he's big now. Like,
Oh wow, he's on his knees, upright.
yeah, yeah. He's pretty big now. So and eats solid food now as well. So yeah, this is kind of like this is our last picnic that we just had, and this is a live stream setup at church. Eric has a giant light I've shot in his face every week,
Did you
and
buy that?
yes,
Hmm.
yeah. So the way that I have Eric lit up is 3-point lighting, right? So you have a key light and you have a backlight, and so that it makes the image sharper for us on Sunday.
Hmm.
So
Oh,
that's the main light there.
that reminds me, on YouTube, the bit rate, that was something when I tried to do stuff there before, it gave me some error message about like the bit rate not being right. So what's the bit rate that you're supposed to use? I don't, it's probably
Yeah,
the default, but I don't know if
right,
you need to double check that each time to make sure it's,
right. I think it depends on your connection, right? So the church pumps out. Uh, I mean, the church upload speed is about 10 megabytes per second, right? So um, I can only push out like maybe 1,000 or no, I'm sorry, like 6,000 or something like that, right? Like 6,000 is equivalent to like 6 megabits per second because you don't want to stream at a greater amount than what your pipeline can handle,
mm-hmm.
right? So I know for a sure fact, and how you can find out is just simply doing a speed test, right? So like you can go to like Google and look up a speed test on your connection at home, and just hit go. And the one that you're concerned with is the upload megabits per second. Okay, and I'm just gonna let it run at the office. So the office is pretty fast in terms of like 100 megabits, 100 something megabits per second, and I'm concerned with the upload, which is probably going to be around 10. And again, you have to look into Zoom or whatever OBS or whatever live stream client you're using, like what their settings are. Let's go back. Okay, so upload speed is about 11 megabits per second. Okay, that's for us. And I edited the output. I'm sorry. See if there's a stream.
Is that the bit rate? I see 4,000. I don't know if that's relevant. There it
Yo,
is.
yeah, that's right. So I have it moving about 4,000, which is not huge, right? It's not, but it's enough. It's enough to keep our image quality clear at church. You know, um, I just use the basic settings. I don't really understand all these things to be honest with you. Like to tell you, like, why is it X264? Right? I don't know what it stands for, but I use it under the encoder is X264. Um, these are just my settings, right, for the church.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So I guess that's more relevant for the people doing the live stream, but I don't need to worry about that. All right.
Correct, correct.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the people that do the live stream in here, I've already set up the thing, right? Like they don't even worry about it on Sunday. Um, like Elijah and Wilson, who have helped me in the past, I've been training them. Like they don't read that. All they have to do on Sunday is click, because we've already just designed the entire structure of the layout of the word worship already in this program. So we got
Mm-hmm.
like reflection, live stream graphic, camera main, um, special call to worship, sermon slides, like all of this is like just click sequentially like throughout the service and it's already preloaded. The only things that are live is the main camera obviously Eric is not there. I pre-recorded him, so I made it look like he's live. But
Mhm.
he's not here this weekend, so it'll just be me and the unknown pastor, uh, and uh, Michael Steffen will come in to help me with the camera operator portion, and then I'll close out the service. So so it'll be different this week, but it'll feel like normal for you guys because Eric is on screen. And you know, obviously, like you could control the slides. You know, we have it set up where I can control it live. Like as Eric is speaking, I can flip the slides and whatnot. You know,
Mhm.
so all these things are preloaded already. Uh, but uh, yeah, so they don't have to worry about like drop rates or CPU rates or any of that stuff. But I would say, you know, one of the trouble things that I had was I had it at 60 frames per second before, and that lagged everything. I'm sure you guys remember that when I
Mhm.
was lagging like crazy because I just had it. It was an inconsistency between what the system was pumping out and what the video was capable of. And a lot of the videos that we submit, like from your iPhone, it's usually filmed at 30 frames per second, which basically means that there are 30 images that flashes per second.
Mhm.
That's how you see the image like move,
Mhm.
right? Or the refresh rate, it just moves because it's flashing those images at 30 frames per second, right? So you kind of want to match those things up when you're outputting it.
Is that
And
just by trial and error?
yes, some of it was trial and error, but then I realized like a lot of the footage that comes default from your phone when you can change it when you're recording a video or whatever from your phone, but most people don't mess with it,
Mhm.
right? Most people just film whatever comes out of their camera, and whatever comes out of the camera tends to be 30 frames per second. The
Mm.
only time that it needs to be 60 frames per second is when you're playing video games, like you're doing like one of those live Twitch games or whatever, right? Like they're playing video games and so they need a fast refresh rate so the game characters don't look like they're lagging. Or you're watching a wedding footage, right? Like a lot of the wedding videographers that you see, like there's like the bride and groom are looking at each other and it's like super like slow. You know what I'm talking about? Like
Mhm.
everything's like dramatically slow. That's actually shot at 60 frames per second. They shoot it at 60 frames and they slow it down 40% so that it looks buttery smooth when
Mhm.
they're filming something like that. But it's a live stream. We ain't no wedding, you know, like we're not doing any of that stuff. So we don't have to worry about any of that. Maybe I'm giving you way too much information, but we don't have to worry about any of that.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, so really, on the Sunday, when we move into the new building, it's also figuring out like a similar process to this, right? The order of worship is broken down this way, uh, but it's like a dance. How do you get that to make the sound work and the cameras to all work and everything is another question. Um, but I think I gave you enough stuff to do so far, right?
Yeah, and I think I can handle it and I feel ready actually. Like I feel like if there's anything I have questions about, I'll just replay this recording.
Okay, cool. I think yeah, and that's really encouraging. Yeah, thank you so much for just coming
Yeah.
in and wanting to help out. You know, I'm really encouraged because you know God's, you know, definitely it's been uh, a challenge, but for sure God's like pulling in folks with a different desire to serve differently. Like one person wants to just be a camera operator. They're like it's funny. I had another person want to sign up for to be a curator, and they're like, "Well, I guess you don't need any help on the Sunday ops or anything, right?" And I'm like, "I thought you were interested in curation." They're like, "Well, I kind of want to know like the camera, how you set that." Like, great, because we don't have enough of those people, you know, either. So it's great that you want to do this section specifically, and it's affirming to me to know that God is like pulling in different people with different desires to serve, to make basically a sermon show up online.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Oh, one more question.
Yes.
So a lot of the videos, they have this like a really nice still shot of Pastor Eric and this really nice, or right now it's that orange background. So that seems like it was post-recording that was added, right?
Yes. You're
So that
absolutely
means I
correct.
need to wait before I start posting things.
No, you can always go back. I usually try, I make those myself.
Hmm.
And so I go into Photoshop and I cut Pastor Eric out from his videos every
Hmm.
week. And I superimpose him on the slide background, and then I change the title, and then I just submit it. So what I can do in the future workflow is um, I'll just update it. I think it's probably easier for me to just finish it and update it, and then as soon as it updates on the YouTube, you'll have access to download it as well.
Okay, so you'll send me an email when that's done? Is that
Yeah, I can text
workflow
you or
thing?
email you. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and again, it would be here, right? So once I would basically finish it, and then I would upload it. So I'll go into the video, like so, and then I'll go into the thumbnail and I'll dump this old thumbnail and I'll change it to the new one, right? Whatever it is, and then you'll be able to access it,
Hmm.
you know, for all of the other recordings.
Hmm.
Unless you want to learn how to do that, I can certainly teach you how to do that as well.
Actually, I might know how to do that.
Oh, you do?
Because I know
That's
Photoshop
great.
and there I know
Yeah,
the magnetic lasso.
correct.
Um,
The
if you
magnetic or the
give me
pen
your
tool,
back, hmm? Sorry,
or
what'd
the
you
pen
say?
tool.
The pen tool. No, I don't think I know the pen tool. I know the type tool to type in stuff. I don't know what the pen, I mean, I know the brush tool, but I don't know the pen tool.
The pen tool is one that you can put two dots around someone's face, and then you bend the handles around it, and it turns a line that wraps around their face.
Oh,
And you do that long enough until you have a complete circle, and then you basically like make selection, and it selects all around that person's body.
oh wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, I mean, there's more than one way to cut a person, right? Like you don't have to
That
cut it that way. That's the way that I used to do it.
that
I
sounds way easier than what I was doing.
Oh yeah, let me show you this. This is actually how I oh, when do you need to go, by the way? Like I think we covered a lot already.
I should go actually. I need to prepare dinner.
Okay, we can talk about that in the future.
Yeah, why don't I first just try to do the stuff you've taught me already, and then if you're feeling overwhelmed, just ping me, and then maybe I could learn that next little thing to add to my responsibilities.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, I think you have a lot on your plate too already too. So I really appreciate what you've covered today. So
Yeah, you're welcome.
all right,
So
well,
just to double check, I'll start after this Sunday, right?
yeah. So after this Sunday, we can have you uh, try, and I could tell Ashley to like take. Well, actually, Ashley is still sick, and so she won't be doing any of this, so there won't be an overlap.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I'll give Ashley a heads up so that she knows she can rest and not worry about any of this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think that's about it. Um, so I'll share the link with you after we're done, and yeah, do you want to? Can I close this in prayer real quick?
Sure.
Um, Father, thanks so much for today. Thanks for Audrey's heart and desire to just serve in any way that she can. Thank you for bringing her to our stream team, Lord. We know that her skills and things that you've given her in her experience, like what a joy it is for us to be able to utilize it, but also to serve together of furthering your word, furthering your kingdom. And Lord, we just ask that you just bless this time, bless just the fruit of our efforts to just really share the live stream to those that don't know you, Lord. And we pray that you continue to just guide us because we can't do this work without you. So thanks once again for today, for this time with Audrey, Lord, and I pray that you would just be with both of us and prepare our hearts for tomorrow for worship. In Jesus' name, amen.
Cool. I'm excited to be able to contribute a teeny bit.
Yeah, thank you. No, it's a lot bit, not a teeny bit. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right.